My name is Neil Beavers. I'm from the UK. Been in Saudi 10 years. I work in PwC as a consultant, and we advise on a lot of the large government transformation projects. It was my career that brought me here. I was working for an international company and they were looking to increase their footprint here in the region. I thought it was a great opportunity to live and work in a different part of the world from which I grew up in. I purposely didn't do too much research and spoke to friends and colleagues who were already here to get their sort of eyes open view of what it was really like. We arrived into Saudi and we were living in Riyadh before Vision 2030 was even announced. For us, it affected us in some very easy, practical ways. The change to the city in terms of investment in infrastructure, in terms of retail, food, leisure, has been huge. And that is all down to Vision 2030, relaxing the rules around investment, making it easier for people to be entrepreneurs and start businesses up, encouraging more of the population into the workforce. One of the things that really surprised us when we arrived in Saudi was how easy it was to make new friends and to join in with the community. Both the expat community and Saudis have been incredibly welcoming, and they understand how difficult it is to move to a new city, and we found everybody really keen to help out, give us hints and tips about where we could go for things, or good hospitals, or various other things that are just really important about settling in well. My first impressions were, it is firstly a huge country, and there's a lot to learn in terms of living and working in this new environment. The city itself was, overwhelming at times. So I was really, I suppose, looking forward to throwing myself into the opportunity of just getting to know a new place. Experience has been really positive. I mean, there's been a lot of high points. Both professionally, it's really accelerating my career, but also it's given us a family life that we wouldn't have had if we'd have stayed in the UK. And we've had the chance to do things as a family and live in a way as a family that was not open to us if we hadn't have made this move. My experience tells me that the keys to success are about being brave, embracing the place that you've moved to. For us, it's been about learning how to adapt ourselves to Saudi rather than try and get Saudi to adapt to how we are, and we found that to be really enjoyable and given us a load of experiences that, as I say, we wouldn't have had in the UK. It's a huge country, and both my work life and my personal life has given me opportunities. So I've visited most of the big cities, obviously Jeddah, Hobart. I've had the opportunity to visit Neom and Al Ula. I've also been to some of the smaller, more regional cities. I mean, Hyle really stands out for me. Breathtaking scenery and a really relaxed and adventure-orientated vibe. So that was fantastic. We've done road trips as a family. We've been camping in the desert. We've visited some of the heritage sites to see about Saudi hundreds of years ago, and that's been really interesting. Going into the desert in Saudi was the first chance I'd had to go and spend some time and explore that sort of environment, and it was just mind-blowing. It was the scenery, the way of living when you're out there. The night sky is just unbelievable. The clarity of the sky at night is just breathtaking. And then be able to go with a group of friends, set up camp, have the campfire, and just be in the desert is an experience everyone should do at least once. It was an absolute highlight of time in Saudi. Saudi hospitality is something that you have to experience through your own eyes. I would say it is very different to the hospitality culture that I was brought up and grew up with in the UK. They're very family orientated in Saudi, which is a similarity to the UK, but it's based around gathering together in people's homes a lot. It's based around food. It's based around talking and socialising and having that sense of community within that group. Make no mistake, Saudi food is very different to the food that I was used to in the UK, but it's about embracing the culture that you live in. You don't go out looking for food that's like from your home country, and it's part of the excitement and the opportunity to go and try new foods from Saudi and from the region. I will never ever look at a dish of lamb in the same way. Saudi has really taught me what a good lamb dish is, and I'll take that with me. One of the things that I try to say to people is that Saudi culture is something that you should see through your own eyes. I can describe my experience of it and how it's worked well for me. There are lots of great things to do here, and maybe thinking about visiting now that there's tourism visas is a great way to experience Saudi culture. There's a lot of fantastic scenery, there's a lot of fantastic activities to do, places that you'd never dream existed. You think of Saudi as a desert, and it is far from that. So I think it's really important as expats, we encourage our friends and family to look at Saudi as a place that you can come visit and experience for themselves. Riyadh as a capital city has changed a lot in the 10 years that we've been here. The city today is becoming more and more vibrant. You notice particularly the nightlife in terms of new restaurants, new venues, new exhibitions, new events going on. Really, really different to what it was when we arrived 10 years ago. We've been to a number of the events that have been put on around the Riyadh season. The Riyadh season itself, usually there's the big main events, but also a lot of smaller events on the side. Those are the ones that we've tended to go to. They've been usually based around exhibitions, cultural things. There was a travelling exhibition around dinosaurs and prehistoric times at one of the boulevard, and just lots of opportunity to take the kids and go and see different types of events as they're taking place. I had a chance to get to some of the big music festivals that happen. I was really sad not to be able to get to the recent Metallica concert as a band that I grew up loving a lot, so it's a real shame. But for me that speaks huge volumes about the international vibe that you are now getting in Riyadh, that those big international bands are coming and playing to large audience. So my hope is in the near future I'll catch the next big one that happens. The art scene in Riyadh was something that slightly took us by surprise in a pleasant way. The compound that I live on had an art exhibition not long after we arrived, and many of the artists showcasing their work were Saudis. So we've had the chance to understand a little bit more about the Saudi arts and culture, and it's been great that it's open and it's been shared with us all. And around the city you can always see the various sort of art and cultural exhibitions that are there, and very much promoted as being a key part of the city. I've always worked in the big professional services firms, PwC being the largest firm in the region, and I really wanted to do a role that was about advising and consulting and trying to help clients with a particular challenge or problem they were facing. I grew up in the part of the UK that was suffering quite bad economically as a result of industrial shutdown, and I saw how an area could regenerate itself, and that inspired me in terms of my career choice. So a lot of the work that I do now is based around changing economies, how to stimulate investment, how to create jobs, and there is nowhere else in the world with a government full square behind delivering that economic change and growth that Saudi Arabia is. So for me, being in Saudi, being able to put the sort of the career that I wanted to have into practice in a large environment was just fantastic.
You interact with the Damak Tower.
Yeah.
To see an apartment there.
Okay.
So you can buy it in the future.
Yeah, I could buy it now.
Yeah, you can buy it.
That's,
You
wow.
have the funding.
If I have the money, of
Yes.
course. Yeah.
You can try it using the button. The tower will come closer to you, right?
Yep.
Yes. Now you can use your hand to interact
Yeah.
with the tower and the flooring. Yes.
Okay. One of the most recent innovations that's affecting the consulting industry is artificial intelligence, and the numerous applications of artificial intelligence into day-to-day life, and also into the way in which we provide support and help to our clients, is really shaking things up. The consulting business will be changing rapidly as a result of adapting AI. It means that we can, be a lot more agile. We can work faster, and we can work in a different way. No longer will we be sat in meetings around PowerPoint presentations. There'll be more real-life building solutions, testing them in real time with the client, and actually getting a real sense of what the solution or the output will look like. And that ability to tweak it and make changes and run scenarios is going to be a lot faster. And something that will be real added value to the industry overall. I think the variety of the consulting industry is something that is attractive to me. I work with many different clients over the course of the year and over the course of the career, and each time it's a new challenge, it's a new problem that needs a solution, it's a new set of circumstances. So you never, everything is always fresh, everything is always new, and it's always about learning a new scenario, learning a new situation. That variety is something that really appeals to me. I think it's what attracts a lot of people to the industry, the fact that you get to experience a very broad range of things. You can specialise in certain areas if you want, or you can keep that breadth of experience. My typical day normally starts pretty early. I'm typically working on at least a couple of projects, so I'll be checking in with the team, seeing how they're getting on, maybe joining meetings, helping them prepare work for the clients. There's usually some internal work that I have to do around helping run the business. Other days I might actually not be in Riyadh, I might have travelled to a particular client's location. I think I'm quite lucky to have had this opportunity to have the last decade of my career in an environment that Saudi has produced from a professional point of view. As I said earlier, the pace of change that they're trying to embark on, the level of support and commitment from the very highest levels of government is just something that you don't find in very many places in the world. And I want to embrace that. I want to get as much professional benefit and enjoyment out of that as I can throughout the time that I get to spend here. The hardest thing for me, and continues to be, is that I don't speak the Arabic language. So it is sometimes difficult when you would really like to discuss a point in detail, and my Arabic is not strong, and the person I'm talking to, their English is not strong, and it is a frustration sometimes. It makes it difficult to really communicate well. I think everybody knows khalas, or bukra was another one that I learnt very early on. I have to say my children are far better at Arabic than I am. Even my 8-year-old daughter can count to 20 in Arabic, and I can't. So the kids, because they do an hour or two of Arabic language lessons every week at school, they're really picking the language up, and they don't miss an opportunity to embarrass me about something that I don't understand. As an expat, when maybe an elderly member of your family is unwell, or one of your friends or family members has a personal crisis, and you want to be close and you want to help and provide the support you would do as a family member, you're a 6-hour flight away, and that sometimes is difficult. At times, it means short notice, jumping on a flight and going to visit someone who's maybe had an operation or is in hospital. So those are the sort of the negatives. But the positives are friends and family can come to visit. I've got friends who are eager to come out, spend a week, do some cycling with me, and see a little bit of the city. I spend most of my free time outside, particularly trying to take advantage of the desert. I'm a keen cyclist, and there's a big cycling community here in Riyadh. So my morning weekends, I'm usually out on the bike, out on one of the desert roads, just taking in the scenery and enjoying what is some brilliant cycling. As a family, we do a wide range of things, from movies to going out to eat, to going to some of the activity centres and various other things that are going on around the city. So there's always plenty to fill the spare time with. Both my children are very active in sports, my son with football, my daughter with karate and gymnastics. I found it very easy to link up with fellow cyclists. There are several clubs that meet in Riyadh. There are races, there are organised rides, and it's very, very easy to drop into that community and find your people. The one thing that I've learned is about myself. Moving to Saudi Arabia with my family was a big step. It was a brave step for all of us to take, but we've proved that it can be successful, enjoyable, and we can thrive from it. So I think it will encourage us to be more adventurous in the future, and I think it will encourage my children, when they grow up, to look at the whole world as their potential place to go work or go live, and not feel constrained by just being from the UK. The best thing that's happened to me in Saudi, I think on the professional front, it's really accelerated my career, and I've got a lot of professional satisfaction from the recognition that I get from, say, a promotion, or the opportunity to work on a global profile project such as, say, Neon. Today has been really enjoyable. It's the first time I've done anything like this, so I'm just really grateful to you and the crew who've just made me feel super comfortable and helped me through this. It's been a great pleasure. The message I would give to anyone in the UK thinking about coming to Saudi Arabia is to give it a chance, to come and see it through your own eyes, to visit some of the historic attractions as well as the cities. There's a lot happening here that is different, but recognisable to you in the UK. And I would encourage you to come and form your own view, see it through your own eyes. I think you'll be really surprised about the change that's happening here.